Welcome. When you look at the world of business, it really does feel like a jungle, right? You've got these giant companies that seem to dominate everything for decades, and then you have others that, well, they just vanish. So, what's the secret sauce? What's the thing that separates the businesses that thrive from those that just disappear? Today, we're going to unpack exactly that, the theories of business growth. So, let's kick things off with the most basic question of all. Why do so many businesses fail? It turns out that for most companies, growth isn't just some nice-to-have goal. It is an absolute necessity. You can't just stand still. In today's market, if you're not growing, you are probably on the fast track to extinction. It really is a constant fight for survival. And the stakes, they could not be higher. Get this, researchers have found that more than half, over 50%, of all new businesses fail within their first 2 years. Just let that sink in for a second. The odds are literally stacked against you from day one. This is what we're talking about when we say the growth enigma. Just surviving that initial trial by fire is the first and, honestly, the hardest step. Okay, so let's dive into our first piece of the puzzle, the drive to grow. What is it that fuels this relentless need to get bigger? It's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet, no. It starts with something way more personal, the ambition of the entrepreneur. You see, at the heart of every growing business, there's a founder who's driven by some pretty basic human desires. Of course, there's the big one, making money and enjoying the wealth that comes with success. But it's also about things like gaining social status, having the ability to give back through philanthropy, and maybe the most important one of all, getting to control your own destiny. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. That personal drive doesn't just stay with the founder. It creates this powerful ripple effect that goes way beyond just one person, and ultimately, it ends up benefiting all of us. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. For the employees, right, a growing company means better paychecks and real opportunities to move up in their careers. For the government, it means more tax revenue coming in and less social tension because more people have jobs. And for society as a whole, well, successful businesses create incredible social and economic value for everyone. It's a win-win-win. So let's say a business has that motivation, that drive to grow. The big question is, how do they actually pull it off? When you boil it all down, there are really two main paths a company can take to get bigger. All right, so you can either build or you can buy. The first path, internal growth, is the build strategy. This is when a company takes its own profits and reinvests them to grow organically. It's slow and steady, kind of like building muscle at the gym over a long period of time. The other path is external growth, the buy strategy. This is all about mergers and acquisitions to get big fast. It's transformative, kind of like getting a high-tech exoskeleton to instantly boost your power. So one is lower risk but takes forever. The other is super fast but comes with the huge headache of trying to merge two totally different company cultures. Now, let's zoom out for a second, because the impact of all this growth isn't just some abstract business school concept. The expansion of small and medium-sized enterprises, or SMEs, is a massive engine for the entire global economy. And this is where it starts to affect you and me directly. Just look at this number. It's incredible. In sub-Saharan Africa, the International Labor Organization estimates that a whopping 70% of people depend on small and informal businesses for their livelihood. This isn't just some small slice of the economy. For the vast majority of people, it is the economy. And you see a pretty similar story playing out in other major economies. Take South Africa, for example. Small and medium enterprises there are responsible for about 60% of all jobs, and they contribute around 40% of the entire country's economic output. I mean, they are truly the backbone of job creation and economic stability. So here's the bottom line, the really crucial point. When these businesses grow and get more productive, it's not just good for the owners. More efficiency leads to lower production costs. And what does that mean for the rest of us? It means we get stuff more cheaply, which directly translates to a higher standard of living for everyone. Okay, for our final section, let's talk about the end game. We know businesses need to grow just to survive, and we know that growth is good for the economy. But what are the deeper strategic reasons that push a company from just surviving to becoming a true giant in its industry? Well, economists have basically narrowed it down to 5 core motives. First, you have the obvious profit motive. Hey, we want to make more money. Then there's the cost motive, which is all about becoming more efficient. The market power motive is the drive to just crush the competition so you can set your own prices. Then you've got the risk motive. This is about diversifying, so if one part of the business fails, the whole ship doesn't sink. And finally, you have the managerial motive, which is the idea that sometimes managers just push for growth to expand their own power and prestige, even if it's not the best thing for the company. Now, that cost motive we just mentioned, it's directly connected to this super powerful concept, economies of scale. It's actually a pretty simple idea. The bigger a company gets and the more stuff it produces, the less it costs to make each individual item. This is exactly why a massive corporation can often sell a product for way cheaper than a little mom-and-pop shop. Their sheer size gives them a huge cost advantage. And in the end, it all comes back to this. This quote just sums it up perfectly. Profitability and growth aren't two different things you chase. They are two sides of the very same coin. You absolutely need both to survive, to keep investors happy, and to build a business that actually lasts.
So we've seen that growth is the engine for survival. It's fueled by personal ambition, and it drives economic prosperity. It creates real value for pretty much everyone involved. But that leaves us with one last really critical question to chew on. Is all growth good? As companies get bigger and bigger, what are the potential downsides for competition, for us as consumers, and for society? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.